All right, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, it's in the title, you see it. The Boston Celtics are up 3-0. They are looking like they're going to be the champions, which is expected in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinions. But for them to be up 3-0, I think as a neutral in this, I know I'm a Laker fan, so a lot of Laker fans hate on Boston. Again, though, speaking as a neutral, seeing the series go to 3-0 is pretty bland, really vanilla. Any suspense or thrilling emotions that we typically would feel in an NBA Finals has pretty much been taken away by the Boston Celtics being so good. Honestly, every series they've been in, they've only lost once. I mean, you hear that, you're thinking it's an all-time playoff run. Is it a really good playoff run? Yes, because again, it doesn't matter how bad or good the teams you're facing. If you only lose, 3 times? Because they've only lost twice up to this point. Assuming Mavericks take game 4, they would have only lost 3 times, which is, yeah, this is not a close series. This series is done. 3-0. The question is it going to be done game 4? Is it going to be done game 5? But Series 1, taking out, who was it? Heat down a lot of players. Series 2, taking down the Cavs. Cavs without Donovan Mitchell, game 4, and I want to say game 3 as well. Also just down Jared Allen the whole series. Downing the Pacers. The Pacers were without Tyrese after game 2, or during game 2, I want to say. Anyway, there can be some frustrating moments, for other teams. But when it's all said and done, Boston was the better team. They played who was in front of them, and they delivered time and time and time again. You can't have, but what if this, but what if that. All that matters is that hardware, because when you go down to a player's resume, you're not looking at who they played. More often than not, you might look at it in the finals who they played, but you're not looking at the playoff run in general. You're typically looking who won the championship. That's what matters the most. Boston is delivering. And also, this Mavericks team took out, the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves took out the Nuggets. So Mavericks earned their way to the finals. And for Boston to dismantle them the way they are really shows how good Boston is, period. And we've been watching it throughout all of playoffs. This team is dominating defensively, showing out offensively, and they have their massive runs because they're deep. From 1 through 5, they can all shoot. And Dallas has had serious issues with playing defense compared to how they played the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, they could just double ant and not have to worry about being punished. Well, game 1 and 2, they heavily double Jason Tatum. Guess what? They get punched in the mouth because oh damn, we can't really double him because Derek White can shoot, Jaylen Brown can shoot, Al Horford can shoot, Drew Holiday can shoot. It was Jaylen Brown with the leading and scoring in game 1. It was Drew Holiday game 2. I think back to Jaylen Brown game 3, if not Jason Tatum. Okay, so Jaylen Brown had 30. Jason Tatum had 31. Nevertheless, you realize, not you. Nevertheless, Dallas realized they can't really double Jason Tatum because the Celtics team is just too good from top to bottom. Well, you don't double him as much as you were game 1 and 2. Jason Tatum is going to go off for 31. And the rest of the team still does what they need to do, and that's just compete and score. And just a real impressive series from the whole roster. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum both getting 41 minutes and combining for 61 points. Derek White chipping in for 16 points. Drew Holiday absolutely battling and showing effort, especially defensively. Had a key rebound or 2 to get that extra bucket. Only had 9 points, but again, he does what he needs to do to win. If his team needs 20, he's going to try and get 20. If his team needs ultra amazing defense, he's going to give ultra amazing defense. Drew Holiday does what you need of him. And all in all, just really impressive. You look at Dallas, I mean, PJ Washington tried, 13 points. Kyrie Irving played his heart out, 35 points in 45 minutes. Luka complaining a little too much, 11 for 27, not great. But There were times where he needed to get back on defense, just needed to lock in more, and he was just too busy barking at officials. All in all, though, this Dallas team just isn't as good. They're just not as good as Boston, and it's clear as day obvious. Boston is looking like they are going to claim their 18th championship, leading all of the NBA in championships. It's been a great season so far, and I'm definitely coming off as if it's already over, because let's be honest, it's not a matter of if Boston wins, it's a matter of when Boston wins. Is it going to be game 4? Is it going to be game 5? Is Dallas going to make it a little bit interesting and make it game 6? Boston, though, yeah, they're just, what can you say? From the start of the season till now, they've just been the most complete team. Not even that. I think what definitely showed, I talked about this a little bit during my during my prediction video for who I thought was going to win the series. I talked about it a little bit, but the experience of Boston truly showed. This series compared to the Warriors series, now don't get me wrong, I think the Golden State Warriors are a better team, but this Boston team just looks night and day difference in how they're handling certain events, certain runs. They're not just getting punched and staying down. They are looking so much more experienced. It's amazing, what experience can do for you. And it clearly has showed up for Boston, because they've handled a lot of things and just been like, nope, we're not gonna let this snowball keep rolling and get big and big and big to where it's just gonna hit us hard. We're gonna stop it now. We're gonna stop the bleeding now. If there was these big Dallas runs, Boston would not lay down. You saw it in Game 3. Boston allowed a huge run in the fourth quarter. They were up 21 at one point. Then it got down to all the way to 2 points or 1 point. Boston ends up pulling out, winning by 7. Great game from Boston. Honestly, just great game. Dallas. Kyrie did what he could. I think Luka's at fault for a lot of the things here, but what it ultimately comes down to is Dallas could not handle Celtics defense. It was just too smothering. Way too smothering. Obviously, Luka fouling out not help at all, but it was just too much. It's too much to ask for to stop this Boston team with what personnel Dallas has. Anyway, hell of a season up to this point. Congratulations, Boston. It looks like you're going to be champions once more since 2008 or 2009. 2008-2009 season, I want to say. Wow. Crazy season. Just absolutely dominant from Boston. As always, feel free to like and subscribe. It goes a long way to helping out the channel. This is All Even Different. All We've Been Different. And we out.